What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin for Elijah went up. Somebody in the YouTube comments mentioned that Litecoin looked like it was in a descending triangle. I forget who it was. I would give you a shout out if I remembered, but I don't see it, man. I don't see it. If you're talking about this here being like at a flat point and then this kind of coming down, it's not a descending triangle. Nothing. I really don't see any kind of descending triangle at all in this thing. I mean, it could be an ascending triangle. It could be an ascending triangle like this, right? We could have some kind of ascending triangle on a very long-term perspective, but that's the only triangle I see. So unless you're looking at like really short-term, like it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe you were looking at the really short-term stuff. And like you had this flat base here with ascending highs, maybe. It's kind of like an ascending triangle up top, but it's so ugly. With triangles, you don't get these wicks below. It's very ugly. But I mean, to be fair, even though it's ugly, it performed exactly like an ascending triangle would. But if it wasn't that, then I don't know what else you'd be talking about personally. I don't see anything else that could be considered that. But even that to me is not an ascending triangle. Hell of a drop, Litecoin. Hell of a drop indeed. So hopefully some people were taking the opportunity to buy there. It's kind of crazy how far you drop, man. This to me makes me think that Litecoin, you know, every coin with this drop, I feel like I'm giving like different opinions on them as far as like where I think they're going to go. Some of them I think are going to go up and be fine, like immediately speaking. Some of them are going to move sideways and recover eventually, and some of them are going to move down. I think Litecoin's one of those that looks like it wants to move down a little bit lower. You might move back. You're at $84, $85 right now. You might move back down to about $78 before you really start moving up again, but not too much lower, you know. I do think Litecoin's in the midst of a move up. I think it does want to move up higher. Let's see how the week closes, because if you can close above this 123, then you don't need to move to $78. You can just continue on your merry way. But if you do close this week above the 618 for 2 weeks in a row, there you close it above this 618 at $88. You're probably making your way up to $138, $176, right? Over time, maybe in a short amount of time, maybe in a long amount of time, but at least up to $100, $106 in a short amount of time, but over the months or weeks up there. So let's just see how this week closes. At the moment, looking at the daily RSI, overbought, now you're not. The RSI, you could bounce from here, but it kind of looks like you would go lower. It kind of does. 4 hour, I'm not happy with. You broke this uptrend. I think you might have lower to go, but maybe you go lower than this. Maybe you don't go below that low. Maybe you do. I said 78, but maybe you go down to like 75. And find a low there on a 4 hour basis and then bounce. But maybe you don't. Maybe that's low. It's hard to say. I'm personally thinking that you do see that. Maybe in the more immediate terms. I keep saying maybe. In the more immediate terms, to start this day off, maybe even to finish this day off. There's another maybe. Drink next time I say maybe. You could move up to about $89, $90. Just because you move up there does not mean that these prices are off the table. Right? You very well could move up to that $90, $88 area first, and then move down to $75, $78. What I'm talking about whenever I was saying closing above there, again, that's on a daily basis. If you can close above there on a daily basis, especially on a weekly basis, if you can close above $80, $88, then I'll switch bullish. But a movement up, a quick movement up within the day, before the close of the day or the week especially, doesn't impress me enough. So at the moment, I do think Litecoin has a little bit lower to go from its current prices, but before that, up a little bit, probably up to about $88, $90, and then down. That's what I got. So if you guys like the video, hit that like button. I do ultimately think Litecoin has more to go. You know, I think it's going to go to 138, 176. I very much do believe that we'll see prices all the way up at, you know, like $1,000 to $2,500. And I got nothing else to say. So hit that like button. And by the way, those are end of the cycle predictions, not like immediate predictions, end of cycle predictions. So anyways, take care. Bye-bye.